One of my followers hammered this into my thoughts. He's tagged in the video if you want to know him. This is a perfect example of you can't eat your cake and have it. If a church told you to store up your treasures in heaven, don't chase the things of the world. Don't worry about houses, land, or anything. God will provide. You believed it. Your politicians believed it, and that's okay. They told you you don't need hospitals. God is the greatest healer. So you took your child from the hospital to the crusade. You traded medicine for anointing oil. That's okay. They told you wisdom, knowledge, and understanding is only in the Bible. So science became a sin. Research became rebellion. Questioning became pride, and studying became lack of faith. They locked your brain in Genesis and told you never to visit reality. Now pause. Why do we blame African politicians for not building? What if they believed the same sermon you clapped for? The same sermon you believed? If the pastor says the world is not my home and the politician believed him, why should they build roads? If the pastor says don't invest on earth, heaven is better, and the minister of works believed him, why should he invest in railways, infrastructures, electricity, and hospitals? If the pastor says Jesus is the light and the minister of power believed him, why do you blame the minister for not providing electricity? If the doctrine is don't love the world, why do you blame your politicians for not developing the world? They fed you a gospel of escape. You believed gospel of escape. Now you're blaming your politicians for escaping responsibilities. You can't preach this world will pass away and then turn around and expect your politicians to plan 50 years infrastructure. You can't tell people earth is nothing, turn around and cry when the earth looks like nothing. What if your politicians believed the same thing you believed? This is the truth that hurts. Religion in Africa didn't just pacify the poor, it paralyzed the powerful. We raised presidents who fast but don't plan, leaders who build prayer camps but never trauma centers, nations that buy jets for pastors but never an ambulance for citizens. So before you shout, our politicians have failed, ask yourself, what did your pulpit teach them to value? Why should someone build, let alone maintain, when they religiously believe it to be useless? Africa is a continent that keeps exporting its treasures to an invisible heaven and keep importing poverty into a visible, realistic world. God is not the problem here. Weaponized religion is. Learn on earth, build on earth, think on earth.